Let us look at the crypto market and see after the monthly and quarterly candle closes, what does the market show you right now? We entered into the month of July and the first 3-day candle close in July. What is it highlighting you? Now, yes, you will have to wait for another 20 hours to get that candle close. But as of now, it gives you a taste of what's coming in. One candle erasing previous two candles, you know the direction, yeah? Now say you want to zoom in and see what exactly is happening. The MACD is trying to cross to the downside, and as always, when it does try to cross to the downside, what happens? There is a micro bounce. Now, if you put a horizontal line there and ask the question, why did the price bounce higher further from there? The answer would be on a higher time frame. 3-day already crossed to the upside and it was entering the positive territory. Continuation on a 3-day. Good. You go on a weekly. Look at that. Weekly was crossing to the upside. So that downside was micro downside. Get it? Cool. Now, this is where you need to answer it correctly. What's happening here? The daily is trying to cross to the downside. Get? Cool. Now, that is where the micro bounces happen. I'll put it here. Yeah, the daily trying to cross to the downside. The price bounce a little bit. Cool. Now, go back on a 3-day. What do you notice about that 3-day? The 3-day already crossed to the downside and it was trying to retest it or cross back to the upside. You saw that? Yeah? Now, tell me, where are we right now, right here? Looks something similar? Good. Now, move back onto a weekly. Watch this. Where were you at that time? You were about to cross to the downside on a weekly. Do you get me? Yeah, you do, right? So the macro matters way more than the micro, unless you are on a 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart, trading 3%, 5% up, down with heavy leverage or a ton of money. You need to be on the macro direction, because if you are not, that's what the market will do to you. Yeah. Now, go on to the macro picture. This is total crypto market. We all understand one thing for sure. If the total market is going up, everything will go up. If the total market is going down, everything will go down. Now watch what the RSI is showing you. Watch what the MACD is showing you. MACD, for some weird reason, is in the negative territory on a daily already. Good. Where it's that on a 3-day. It's showing you, yeah, see, I'm still in the positive territory. I'm not dropping big time. Okay, good. So that means you're not talking about a 50% drop right now, but you're only looking at something like a 30% drop from here. Not combining the initial drop, yeah? Only this thing. That's a total market. Good. Now you get the point. Slowly zoom back out on a weekly for the total crypto market and ask this to yourself. Okay, where are you? Historically, if you zoom back out into this and try to trace, it's not yet here. Yeah? Keep this in mind. It's not yet here. You're not attempting to cross to the upside or going back downside in a negative territory yet. You're still in the positive region, which means the capitulation is not yet here. The distribution is not yet finished. Yeah, let me make myself clear. We haven't completed the distribution zone yet. Now, you go on to a monthly and that's where you kind of get a basic idea. Okay, it does look like that. Good? You get me, right? If you don't, pick up the alt market. That's going to give you everything you need. Alt market is showing you this month or the next month, MACD is about to cross to the downside. And historically, you know what that means. And I don't have to repeat myself. You pick the weekly chart and notice the fact that the MACD tried to cross to the upside, but then immediately got rejected. Okay, good. Now, you want to zoom in on a 3-day chart to see what's happening there. Okay, the MACD crossed to the upside, but immediately crossed back to the downside. You're zooming in on a daily. What's it doing? It's on the negative territory, trying to cross back to the downside. Okay, good. So you already understand the fact that on a monthly, that thing has to go down. But then you go on to a weekly and say, okay, that thing, if it is getting rejected, there should be some sort of panic coming in today, tomorrow, this week, next week, who knows? So you are now watching for a negative divergence. Good. Now, see this? This is what I was arguing, that the fake pump will always come into the market. You saw this? The price went up on a short term, but the RSI did not. The price dumped. Say you go pick up a daily chart here. This is clear. Why do I say that? You look at this. The price action kind of broke to the upside on RSI. But then on the price, it did not. Good. Now we go on to a 3-day chart. What do you notice? The momentum is on which side? Like, this is easy when you play the macro game. Say you put this on a weekly, you put this on a Heikin-Ashi. This is your direction. So the last candle close, it's showing you the argument that it closed in red, below the moving average. Now let's go back in history and see that. First time you did that here, okay, you had a micro bounce, then you went to the downside. How low? Yeah, from that candle close, you dropped 20%. From that bounce, you dropped 30. Good. Now, after a bull market, when you entered a bear market, what did you really do? You had a micro bounce, then you continued further to the downside. And then you had a bounce, pushing people back into the market, and then got rejected. Now, are we going to go for this 25 to 30% drop or a 60% drop is what matters right now. I don't think the upside is what people are looking at, because the monthly is already showing you. See, the last candle on a monthly which closed was barely in green, and any little momentum to the downside is going to push it back down. Good? Now, let's slowly zoom in and see why I'm putting that argument. Because the daily is arguing yesterday was bearish, today is bearish, most likely tomorrow is also bearish. Good. Now, if you go on to some of these assets, say this is XLM, a fundamental asset, utility asset, yeah? Look at that. The daily is red. The 3-day has been continuously red. The weekly shows you it's red. The monthly argues it's red. Now, it's clearly your decision, but the monthly is right now at 50 on the RSI. You know where the capitulation starts. If you don't, you just zoom a little back, go back into this and watch this. What do you see here? Yeah, for sure, the market will be manipulated. Not everyone will make a ton of money. In Bitcoin terms, I still told you we are in distribution phase. We have not yet started the downside yet. We didn't drop big time yet. But watch what the weekly candle shows you. Now, yes, it is true. Right now, you're on a Wednesday. You have the Thursday, the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday until Monday morning to watch the weekly candle close. But as of now, imagine what's going to happen. The price is at 105. 616. The MACD candle is at 106, 984, say close to 107. So if it moves a little bit lower and close, the next candle here is going to be red in MACD and the RSI combining the price, because the price moves the RSI and MACD. So what we just explained, when it plays out, MACD is going to cross to the downside on a weekly yet again. So you put that on a Japanese candlestick and this is what you see. Now, before you jump out, look at other assets. You need to know that. This is the weekly for what? Ether. Watch Heikin-Ashi. It's showing you the last candle close was in red. Right now, it's trying to push back up. Okay, let's zoom in. What does the daily say? No, I tried, but I'm getting rejected. Oh, okay, I understand. Now I'm going to Solana. It's showing you I tried, but I'm getting rejected. I go on to a 3-day. It's still showing you I'm still trying. Good. I go on to a weekly. Who's dominating? Right now, buyers are trying to come back in, but On a weekly, I want you to look at what happens historically when this thing plays out. The MACD try to cross to the upside. You have a bounce to test what? The moving average. You crossed, you did what? Test up the moving average. Then it come back down to cross to the downside, but then, boom, the price capitulates. So you're somewhere in that territory where it may drop hard. Now, why am I saying that? Because the monthly is here. It crossed to the downside. Historically, what happens? You know that. You want to argue with the market, that's a different story. You have an entirely different perspective, that's a different story. But if you pick the Bitcoin dominance in that idea and argue that it's about to blow up, okay, you need to see that thing reversing. As of now, on a weekly, the shift didn't start. On a 3-day, it is showing, yes, I have another negative divergence. Yes, I'm trying to push further. So you go on a daily. It's showing you, yes, the last candle closed in red, but right now I'm green. So you literally have to wait for another 20 hours to see how the daily candle closes. Good. Now we pick large cap assets. This is Doge. Daily, negative. 3-day, negative. Weekly, negative. Monthly, negative. I mean, you guys have to think about this. This is a large cap asset. If the market is saying, I'm going back down this much, which is, not much, actually just 44 to the RSI on a monthly. That's just a 5-point drop on the RSI. Now, let me see what that 5% drop means. From 48 to 42, so somewhere around 6-point drop, which is a 15% drop, pulled the price how much down? That's the question. 66% down. Okay, so even if it's a 50% drop from here, it would not look great for a lot of you guys out there. That's why I say we may have a good odds, good chance to buy these things at this point if it's about to repeat something like what XLM did, meaning, this guy comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up. If that's what's about to play out, good. We are going to play that game. But if that's not what we are going to watch on a macro, what will you do? See, this is what I was arguing. It looks like Doge is somewhere like this. So it can come down, it can go back up, but that come down was in 2022 and the go up was in 2024. If you have 2-3 years to hold on, good, cool. If not, listen carefully to the scientific investor family. Legends will be born in this market because they were able to keep the emotions away and look at the right part of the market. If you want to join them, use the link. Make sure next 12 months when the price is going down, you're not on the opposite side. You're not watching your portfolio bleed. That's what you have to think about. So if you received value, smash that like button and I'll meet you guys in the next video. Bye for now.